everybody, and this is the beginning of a web series where I tell my story and my mother's story, and hopefully the stories of a lot of you women who feel like you don't have the voices to say them yourselves. This is for all the women who have been victims of the patriarchal system. This is for all you girls that have posted Me Too on your Facebook walls. This series is for you. So if I'm going to tell you my story, I feel like you should know about me. I am Dao-E, and this is what I've been up to the past couple of months.
And you can see protesters beginning to gather here.
Oh shit! Whoa, 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 whoa!
They knocked her on the ground. I got arrested pulling her out of the street. I was on the sidewalk.
So, how did I get here, you wonder? Yeah, I wonder that too. You may have seen some headlines about this. A protest broken up by police because a group of nasty women got too rowdy. That's only one side of the story. No one gave me the chance to tell my story, and I'm sick of being silent. Here's my side of what happened to me, and to my mother, and what's happening to all women. So, my mother. She's a hard worker, and she's worked at Zhang Enterprises for a few years. She was pretty high up in the company, working right under the company owners, Mr. Zhang and his son Donkey. Anyway, my mother, she worked with some of their biggest clients, and this one really important client, Dr. Liu. He called to arrange a dinner meeting with my mother regarding a loan between him and the business. It was a weekend and the offices were closed, but Mr. Liu was a big client, so my mother made an exception. When she got there, though, he attacked her. He tied her hands, he tried to shove her into his car, and God knows what he was going to do until Mr. Zhang and Donkey showed up. They happened to be there and they interrupted, and the client ran away, and that was the end of it. Literally, that was the end of it. There was no legal action, nothing. The guy just ran away. I begged my mother to press charges against him, to send the police after him. She knew who he was, but she wouldn't. She said she just wanted to move on from it. She was afraid. She was afraid of being discredited, afraid of losing her privacy, of losing her job, and who says you would be convicted even if we told anyone? No. She just wanted to move past it. But I'm saying we can't just move past these things. We can't continue to perpetuate this by not speaking up. She thought moving on would protect her, but clearly this isn't true. These issues are everywhere. Which brings us back to Mr. Zhang saving my mother. He didn't tell anyone about the attack either. My mother remained silent. She kept going to work, and she kept working under Mr. Zhang. And he would call her into his office, or he would invite her to lunches, and it soon became clear that he had much more than business affairs on his mind. But how could my mother say no? To the man that saved her? To her boss? And Mr. Zhang, he began coming on to her, and I told her she couldn't let this go on. She had to speak up. So she did. She tried to fend off his advances. She tried to tell people. And like she had feared, she was fired from the company. Our only source of income was cut off. No one else would hire her, a woman who would make such accusations against such a powerful man. And then there was Dom.
I mean, look, Howard, bottom line is my dad is a good man. He's the CEO. He supervises hundreds of employees, and this is the first time you hear anything bad coming out about him. I mean, how dare that troublemaking slut accuse him, a prestigious man, her boss. I mean, have you seen the way she dresses? She was totally asking for it. I mean, she really earned every day that judge gave her.
We had lost everything. Our income, our credibility. We had lost our peace of mind. And he says we were asking for that? All anyone could do was discredit us, asking things like, well, what was she wearing? Was she alone? As if that makes a difference. As if that changes the story. It doesn't. This is our story and we get to tell it. You don't. So we began spreading our story. I organized a peaceful protest. The protesters were to remain outside of the building, chanting, holding signs, raising awareness of this injustice, just letting people know that this business is not female-friendly. Then we heard the sirens in the distance. We weren't worried, though. We weren't breaking any laws. We weren't hurting anyone. We were just getting our message out there. But I think you know the rest of what happened. The policeman, he came at me. They cuffed me. He pushed me into the police car. I was arrested. I couldn't make bail. My mother had no job. She had no money. I was thrown in jail for disturbing the peace. But what about our peace? What about our peace of body, our peace of mind? We have to end our silence or else perpetuate it. This is my story, and I feel like it's important to tell it. Please send in your own stories. I'm hoping to share some of them in future videos. I'm hoping this series gives a voice to some of you out there who feel like it's been taken away from you. In the meantime, Keep up with my videos, keep up with our movement by liking and subscribing to my channel. I look forward to hearing your stories and thoughts in the comments below.